Hey, Oshplin Snake-O here with another figure review. This time I've got the Transformers Prime Deluxe Robot in Disguise Ratchet. Woo! What can I say about this guy? I do like Ratchet. I like him as a character. You know, he's the Autobots physician doctor. I just I'm kind of stuttering on my words because I'm trying to think. They can't seem to get Ratchet right. In my movie collection of Transformers I have about 4, 5 Ratchets. Yeah, something like that. And the toys themselves are okay, kinda. Although the first Voyager Ratchet was released in the movie, is massive and it's too bulky. The other ones have a nice design, but they're too small. And this is where this Ratchet unfortunately falls through. He's a nice design, he's a nice looking Transformer in both robot and vehicle mode, but he's too small. You know, here's a Vehicle. The Vehicle's same length. He should be roughly like a little bit smaller than Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode, but he's not. You know, he should be about this big. If I put Bulkhead behind him, no, back to back, they're all back to back. Let's take off this gun. Right, so all vehicles back to back, and as you can see, he should definitely come to about here, or if not be the same kind of size as Bulkhead. But instead we get a Deluxe Ratchet. I think it's because his popularity doesn't warrant a Voyager figure, which is a crying shame in my opinion, because he's a great Transformer, but he just unfortunately seems to always get like the shortcomings, which is very, very unfortunate, because you know he's a crucial member to the team. He's very important to the team in Prime, especially as he's like controls the portals, plus he like heals them. But you know, that's just my real gripe, is his size. He's just too small. Sure, that I think he's a really, really nice Transformer. I quite enjoy transforming him, and I only really have one kind of gripe with the figure itself, and the other gripe I have is with his weapons. Speaking of, he comes with 2 of these little surgical blade figs, which you see him wield him. You don't actually see him using any blasters as far as I can remember. They are a very, very soft rubber, which actually doesn't help because the handle is very flexible, and he has these 2 ports here and here where you can make him a weaponized vehicle, but they don't go all the way, and I'm scared to kind of push them more than I have to because they feel like they're going to tear. So you can have like this like bull effect kinda. So, but you're not going to hurt yourself on them, which is more important than, I guess, accuracy for children. Anyway, moving on. So let's transform this little minivan. To transform him, what you need to do is come down this line here, and you need to untab here. Now I actually broke my one, but I've managed to fix it luckily, but I'm very scary. So you see you've got like a hook which hooks onto the blue part, and there's a tab under the hook which goes into the white part. So you have to kind of like pull this in, and this part down, this part up, and you kind of ever so gently finesse it out like that. Do the same on the other side. This is the one I actually broke. Now once you do that, it's also there's a little lip just under there, so you kind of have to, it might help if you separate them, maybe get a better angle. This part actually moves due to transformation, and then comes, there we go, finally got it out. You actually want to do that anyway. They're kind of, if I show you, if I get one out of the way, I'll show you the other one. They're kind of on this here, where there's like, it's got a hinge here, and it's on a hinge here, and it goes all the way down. But before you go down, you need to bring the toes forward, and then they rotate outwards to there. Put the heel in place, and then you do that kind of accordion. You have to kind of pull it, it's like that, and it's kind of tabbed just there. It's very loose. It's actually and then it comes just outwards. No, I can't get to it. And then once you get on top, you just bring the whole thing forward and then put that just behind the heel, and that is actually the leg transformed. I'm not happy with that. I might try and see if I can come up with a better transformation for it. Extend the leg, anyway, bring the foot around before you bring the panel down, because else it gets in the way. Extend the heel, accordion panel down, as I showed you. They only go so far. We're well blurry, sorry, I'm not using the camera this time. There we go. Now they only go so far. As you can see, they kind of angle themselves, and that's about as far as they can go. And then you just bring that part into there so it's out of the way. Straighten the legs up, and there are his legs. Okay, next part. You want to grab this little tab here, pull that straight out, and then you want to kind of gently persuade that to come out to the side. It's kind of tabbed under there, and it's also tabbed under here. So once you get that free, you then want to pull, extend that, this red part comes straight out, but you need to get clear this white part here with the grey part. So if I use my little right hand, it kind of comes straight out like that to 90 degrees. Bring that down, bring that down, bring the hand out, which just, I'll show you upside down, which is just there. That just rotates around. Then you want to fold it on here and here, all the way around, and bring this lip into that bit there. Feels like that should go better further, it doesn't. Okay, same inside, so bring that out. And then you want to bring that down there, up from there, and then bring this part straight out like that. Hand out, arm down, bring the flap round, and then clip it into there, just like that. It feels like that wants to go in, but it doesn't. It just feels like it should. And then what you do for the last part is bring the backpack all the way down, and as you saw, pops the head out, and then this peg just goes into the top there, like that. Yes, it leaves a bit of a gap, unfortunate, but it looks okay from the back. And he has quite a cool backpack, which is actually one of my other gripes, but I'll get to that in a sec. So, without further ado, we have focus, there we go, Transformers Prime Deluxe Ratchet in his robot mode. Yay! And he's got actually a really nice robot mode. I do like it. I have a lot of things I like about it, but at the same time there's a lot of things I dislike about it. So let's go over what I dislike. As I said already, the big gaps there, but you know, you kind of need them for the transformation. His nitpicking, his shoulders should actually be a lot bigger. They're quite almost twice as big as that, if I remember right, off the show. And he should have a red like heartbeat line going down here, which would be quite, someone's fixed with online. As I've said earlier, these bulking panels here I'm not a big fan of. And then the final nitpick is this should be red, if I remember rightly. That's generally all I dislike about this figure. Apart from that, I think he's a really great figure, if only he was like this big. But what are you going to do? Anyway, so let's go over his articulation quickly, and then we'll go over his accessories and so forth. So articulation, the head is on a spring, so you've got to be careful because it does like to pop in, and it does turn, but not much because the collar, so you only really get that, nothing up and down. The shoulders have an extra hinge here due to transformation, so they can go back quite far, and then they're on a ball, so they can come out very far and then rotate full 360 degree. There is a bicep swivel just there, so full 360 degree there. There's also a hinge there, so they can bring the arm up to there. There's also a hinge in the elbow, so you can get his arm all the way up to there without even moving his shoulder. And then there's nothing in the wrist or glove apart from pointing his hand down, up and down due to transformation. Nothing else also. He has a waist cut, not a full 360 from there to there, but you know, waist cut's a waist cut, so that's pretty cool. Not that I'm a fan of waist cuts, but you know, I know some people are. And then he has T-cut hits, so yay. Spartan kick of that, and a split kick of You know, if he can go further, his arms are in the way. That, so that's pretty cool. Then he has a double knee, but it's kind of, you do one, it kind of interferes with the other. So if I do that one, I can't do this one. If I do this one, I can't do that one. You kind of can't do both of them. So I suppose I don't really see the point of this one. Don't use it for transformation as far as I'm aware, and it looks better if you leave it down. No real ankle pivot. There's slight there, but it's only due to transformation. It doesn't really want to go, and his feet are kind of at an angle anyway. And then toe articulation or ankle articulation is just to there. I guess that's about it really. It's basically just due to transformation, so nothing really. Now let's bring him down, stand him up. He stands very nicely. His feet got very wide feet, which are quite accurate to the show, which is pretty cool. Apart from different, I think that should be silver. He comes with, like I said, these blades I showed you at the beginning of the videos. There's not much really to them. They're identical. No details whatsoever in paint apps. They've got some nice actual moulded details, nice little grip there. So that's pretty cool. And if you notice the handles at the front instead of in the middle like most blades, they've done that for a reason, because when you put it in his hand and then you go like so, you bend his hand down, it actually looks like he's transformed the blades out, only from that side. So if I show you from this one, but again, I'm really dubious about using these blades. They're very, very thin. So then it looks like he's got his blades out and he's ready for action. Anyway, size comparison time. Oops, that panel just came undone. Here he is next to a Viacom. Viacom's actually taller than him. Here he is next to a Robots in Disguise Bumblebee. He's fallen over. You know, he's only just taller than Bumblebee's head. He's not taller than that plate at the back. And here is a Voyager Optimus. Man, my phone's very stiff trying to tilt upwards. So there you can see, you know, I think he should be like about that tall compared to Prime. I can't think of any way to make this big apart from taking him apart, moulding him, recasting him in resin and basically building my own one, which I'm just not going to do because I've heard the price for doing that is actually crazy, so that's a bit annoying. So yeah, have to make do with what we get given. It is a really good figure, so I do recommend him, as there's no other scale alternatives. It's just, like I said, a shame. But yeah, it's a really, really good figure. He's got some nice details, it's great articulation, a pretty simple transformation. Just be careful, as I said, this has already broken off for me, but I've glued it back on and luckily it's staying. So just be careful. If I think of a way to make these a bit more slimline, so they're not so these chunking bits of car attached, I will let you guys know. But yeah, I do recommend this figure, and he's quite cheap right now nowadays because the series is now over. You can pick him up very reasonable for, well, I've seen him going for about £6 over here, so I'm sure you can get him cheaper over the UK, over the States. Right, let's get his weapons out and we'll transform him back and end our review. Okay, so to transform him back, you need to undo the backpack and lift it all the way up to there, push the head in, just go quite deep for that, and then put that forward to there. It doesn't go the whole way, it goes to there. You then bring the arms up, undo this panel, bring that all the way out, bring the hand in, and then I kind of need to bend and bend. Now this is where a bit of finessing comes in. If you bring the arm forward to there, you have to see where I've got it lined up. The grey bit's there, the red bit's there, and there's that white bit there. You have to kind of go back just over that. So you have to lift it over the white panel here, dodging this white loop here, and then get it all the way in, and then you can line the rest of it up. I'm losing my voice. Bring the backpack back a bit, I got it too far forward, and then once you get one in, it all lines up. Close that panel, done. So same for the other one, open, open, close, bend, bend, rotate, rotate. That's where you want to lift, forward, The hardest part is getting it past that little nook and level. But once you get it in, you just kind of finesse the rest of it the way. Except when I was stuck on the backpack bit. There we go. Got stuck on, don't know how well you can see that, I got stuck on that bit of white there from the red. Got caught on it. Just had to angle it a bit further and it's in. And that's in, that's closed. The back of him's done. Now these are a bit awkward. You've got to bring the feet all the way forward and then you kind of want to bend. Maybe it does use that bend for the transformation. Huh, never noticed that. Okay, accordion knees back. Just to there. Do that for both of them. You have to turn these around before you close it. Because if you do it otherwise, the pegs and the front of the bumpers catch. So that's a bit annoying. Bring it down. And then you have to kind of do that whole finessing, get it under. There you go, we're under. And then line it up, bring it all together, close them, close that. And then same as before, this time you have to push this down and kind of lift the white to get it over. That way nice and easy. Push blue down, push that down, lift that and over. Bring the feet down. Let's have a look at the knees quickly. Yeah, okay, they are being used. I stand corrected. I didn't think they were being used for anything. So all they're used for is a transformation and the lower knee joints. Toes in, vehicle mode. Line it all up. And there he is in his vehicle mode. He has these extra pegs here, which I guess you could use to store his weapons. But you can't really do that for like in robot mode because this bit here goes over top of them. So I guess if you wanted to store them on there opposed to on the front, I don't really see the point of that. They could just be like just the right size screw holes, you never know. Instructions don't really say anything, but anyway, there you go. That's my Transformers Prime Deluxe Robots in Skies Ratchet. Really good figure, just the wrong scale unfortunately, but he is the only one available to us, so I do recommend him, and you should be able to find him very cheap wherever you go. Anyway, thanks a lot for looking guys. As per usual, leave comments below, please subscribe, and I will catch you later. Bye bye.